Hello and welcome back to Beauty Bee. I'm Iris and this is going to be how my collection changed in February for 2021. Because we are somehow already at the end of February, I don't know if the universe is trying to make up for just how long March of last year was by making everything this year go a little bit faster, but that's the only explanation I can come up with. This is just a what I finished up as well as what came in to my collection during the month. As far as things that I finished, it's really not an impressive month at all. Everything that I finished this month was actually a mini, so let's just start with the actual least exciting one. This is a makeup remover wipe from Rao. I wouldn't usually just put one wipe in, but I had a little stash of single packaged makeup wipes that I had taken from various hotels over the past couple of years. Not that I've been staying in too many hotels recently, so I decided it was time to use them up. And this was just the one that I kept around to put in this video. They're all fine. I don't tend to use these on my face. I tend to use them if I've done like a duping the vibes video and I have just an arm and a half full of swatches. I find that these are really handy for getting some of those off without making too big of a mess of all of my washcloths. Next up, another foil packet. This is the Verb Resets Clarifying Shampoo. I got from Sephora a 3-step foil packet sample. This is the only one that I finished. There was also a hair mask as well as some kind of leave-in styling product. I have also used the hair mask once. I am a little bit hesitant to use the rest of it. I think that I just used this wrong, maybe. I actually only got one use out of this product. It's much thinner than the shampoos I usually use, so I just put it in and then realized that I was missing part of my head, so I ended up using the other half. And oh my goodness, it made my hair disgusting. I think this really, really dried out my scalp because the next day, by about 10 a.m. I would say, and mind you, I showered in the evening, so by 10 a.m. the next morning, it had only been, maybe 14 or 15 hours. My hair was so greasy and I was dealing with quite a bit of dandruff, which is not something that I usually struggle with. So, needless to say, not going to be messing with the Verb Clarifying Shampoo again. That is out. And if I have a similar reaction, I'll just toss the rest of the system because I like to think that I can learn my lesson. One more foil packet. This is just the Porefessional. This is the standard one. I think I got probably 6 or 7 uses out of this. And I mean, it's the Porefessional. I kind of like it. I do think that it really does smooth out the area around my nose. However, I think I could do that for a little bit cheaper. I really do like the Porefessional hydrating version, but the standard one is something that I'm happy to get in sample size and use, but don't think I would ever actually purchase. 2 slightly larger minis we have to talk about. First is this Ulta Beauty mini nail polish. I liked this color. I didn't love it. This is actually part of my project pan, so I'm really glad that I finished it up. And there's certainly some amount of nail polish left in here. I mean, I could tip it upside down if I really wanted to. But the last time I used this, I was not only having to dip in multiple times to coat each nail, I was having to do the thing where you dip in, screw on the cap, screw it off, and then you can continue to paint. So I'm willing to call it done. Now for an item that I really, really enjoyed. This is my little Tarte Jelly Glaze lip mask sample. This is the one in strawberry, which is a pink. This felt really nourishing. I thought that it looked really pretty. I ended up using it both during the day. I would use this almost every night. I did find that it stayed on really well throughout the night. I didn't make a mess of my pillowcase or my blankets, and I could still feel the moisture when I woke up in the morning. this was great. It actually lasted me a really long time. I was looking at my product 100 uses, and I think I used this 42 days. So not even just 42 applications, 42 days. Some of those days I almost certainly applied it 2 or 3 times, and I think that's impressive for such a tiny little tube. Okay, so I'm moving out 5 minis this month. Not the most impressive month of empties, but I think March will be much better on that front. I'm just pretty close on quite a few different things. I also, I believe, filmed January's update a little bit into February, so I really only had about 3.5 weeks during this month to finish things up in time for this video. I think that I said in the last one of these videos that February was going to look a lot like an empties video because I wasn't planning on making any purchases, and I was very wrong. So first I ended up trying Ipsy. I subscribed and got my welcome bag as well as 3 add-ons. Now I did do a video on bagging this, so I'm gonna move fairly quickly through it. I ended up getting 1 brush, skincare items. I got this little Glam Glow Bright Eyes mini, Neogen Dermatology Probiotics Youth Repair Cream, Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter, well as the little eyeshadow duo that I received. This is from Shade by Shan. I would be surprised if this is not a private labeled brand. However, I have really been enjoying the shadow that I've tried. I have not tried this shade yet, this more rosy shade. I have been using this rose gold quite a bit. Now I also ended up buying 3 add-ons. They were $3 each. It was this sample of the Benefit Porefessional Hydrating Primer. I've already talked about this. I like it. I really enjoy it. I did think that I was probably going to be receiving a little bit of a bigger sample. However, I've used it 3 or 4 times and I don't feel like the amount of product in the tube has really gone down, so I'm not too upset with the amount of product I got. I also decided to try out the Skin Iceland limited edition Berry Lip Fix. I'm not wild about this. I thought that it would be tinted. I don't know why I thought that, but it is colorless. It does smell nice. It feels okay. I feel a little bit of tingling when I put this on, and I do kind of wonder if I actually got the full promised amount in this tube. It feels very empty and I feel like I have to really squeeze it quite a bit to get any product out, and I've only used this maybe 3 or 4 times, so maybe they just used close to the full-size tube to put half the product in, or maybe they shorted me a little bit. I'm not sure. Either way, I'm not blown away by the actual product itself. I don't think it does a huge amount for my lips, but it's nice enough that I'll end up using it up, I'm sure. And then finally for Ipsy, I ended up buying a sample of the Verb Manage and Restore Hydrating Mask. I am a little bit concerned to try this after the fiasco with the shampoo. However, this had been sitting in my Sephora loves list for ages, and even if I don't like it, I am glad that I decided to purchase the $3 version instead of the $18 version to give it a try. I also had a Target gift card. Now, originally I had this earmarked for a little bit more professional clothing. However, I ended up going to the thrift store and finding some fantastic deals and really building out my wardrobe. In that regard, I decided that I could spend some of that money on some extra makeup. And the first item I got is the e.l.f. Rider Dye Lip Balm. This is the Just Peachy shade. Okay, maybe this is just me, but I thought when I saw all of these YouTubers who had these abused looking tubes that they must really love it and use it a lot. I've used this 3 times. You just have to mess with the tube quite a bit to actually get the product out. However, when you do, I really like the scent. It is not a natural peach scent, but it does smell exactly like peach rings candy. I really like it. I could definitely see how it would be overpowering to some people as it is quite strong. It's kind of hard to get out of the tube, but once you do, I mean, as mentioned, it smells nice. It's a really nice thickness on the lips, and I do feel that it's pretty nourishing. Now, in comparison to the Tarte, I feel like the e.l.f. one is a little bit thicker. I also think that this transfers a little bit more onto my pillow as I sleep. However, it's not ridiculous. I don't, wake up with orange up here on my face or anything. And I can still feel it on my lips when I wake up in the morning. So a little bit more transfer, but still nothing obnoxious. And this is $5 as compared to $14 for the full-size Tarte one. So I think I know which one I will be more likely to repurchase in the future. In the same order, I ended up picking up the Sally Hansen Insta-Dry Glitter. This is the shade 104 Twinkle Twinkle. I've only used this once with very disappointing results. I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but my nails right now are actually kind of disgusting looking. This was largely my fault. I didn't go slow enough with this, and I built it up too fast, too thick, and it just wouldn't dry. I eventually ended up just peeling it off, not even picking it off or scraping it off. It just came off in like a ball. So I am going to give that another try probably in a couple days. I just want to give my nails a little bit of a rest because I used nail polish remover, 20 minutes before I applied the new coat, and then was picking at them within an hour. So they deserve a little bit of a break. And now the last item that I bought from Target and for the month is this Physicians Formula All-Star palette. I'd seen this and I'd thought that it was really lovely, but I had no short-term plans for buying it. But I was already purchasing a couple of things, but I was already purchasing a couple of makeup items, and Target was running some kind of, I think it was spend $20 in beauty, get a $5 gift card. Here is what this looks like. What really drew me to this were the bronzers. I could see that they were pretty light, and I do want to actually get good at using bronzer. The one that I have currently is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess, and that does have some shine, and I think actually a tiny little bit of glitter to it. So a somewhat satin finish one as well as a matte finish were definitely things that I was interested in trying. And really, I think these are minis, but they're big enough that I have no concern about going through them quickly, and $15 is a lot less than it would cost to get 2 Physicians Formula bronzers. So I feel like I was getting a good deal, and everything else was just kind of a bonus. I have used the other 4 products as well. This is just a powder. Here we have 2 highlighters. This has an overspray on it, which I didn't realize at the time. So I can't give you any thoughts on how that will perform long term, but I actually kind of thought the glitter balm that I got the first time I used this was kind of fun. So I might end up using that. So I might kind of save some of the glitter overspray around the edge to play with in the future. This gold highlight I'm actually wearing today. I think it's really pretty. I think it catches the light really nicely. And this is a little bit more of a neutral blush than anything else I own. It also has a really nice texture to it. It's really soft and sort of a quite muted pink. Also important to note that it does smell very much like the butter bronzer. I like that and I don't mind it at all. However, your mileage may vary. Okay, so a few quick thoughts. I brought in way more this month than I wanted to or was planning on. Next month it needs to be a lot less. I also need to not purchase any face products, or at least, these sort of face powders. I bought last month I bought a Benefit Trio. This month I bought a Physicians Formula 6-pan. That I think the month before that I had purchased a Bare Mineral single. Too much, need to slow down. Blush is one of those things that's just really easy to suddenly accumulate a lot of and then have to spend, 15 years trying to use it all up. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that next month you'll come back and see a much more in control version of this video. Thanks again for watching. I hope you consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to next time. Bye!